This is KCTV English News. I'm Nick Brontes. Experts predict economic growth to slow this year and that 2019 will be particularly tough for the construction industry. The Jeju branch of the Bank of Korea forecasts slow growth in agriculture and manufacturing in 2019, but very bleak times for construction and in the tourism service sector. The overall local economy is expected to remain stagnant compared to last year. Analysts say the protracted slump in construction could result in some small businesses filing for bankruptcy. Bank representatives did say, however, that investments in social overhead capital and infrastructure may prop up the lackluster economy if they are implemented as scheduled. The provincial government will inspect investment and employment performance at the island's major tourism development sites. Authorities will determine if the conditions the developers agreed to are being fully implemented. Those conditions include a workforce made up of over 80% of local workers and the hiring of local construction companies. If investments and the employment situation fall short of agreements, the province will penalize the developers. That may include denying extensions to the development period. There are 37 developments of this type on the island, either in operation or under construction. They are expected to hire 34,000 local workers. Authorities have been granted wider leeway in the inspection of electronic gaming machines at local casinos. A revised casino management and supervision ordinance went into effect January 1st. According to the changes, authorities can now inspect game machines when a business site moves or closes, as well as when the governor orders an inspection. The new ordinance also sets standards for video information processing equipment in the casinos. Authorities can now manage and supervise video feeds from the businesses. By the end of this year, all of the island's kindergarten and school classrooms will be equipped with air purifiers. The Provincial Education Office is advancing its schedule. The project had been planned to be complete by the end of next year. 2,462 air purifiers were distributed to kindergartens, elementary schools, and special education schools last year. This year, another roughly 1,400 will be installed in all middle and high school classrooms. There is no consensus among the companies in the Hwabuk semi-industrial zone about the proposed relocation of the area. The province asked 251 companies in the zone last July and August about the proposal. 39.4% agreed to the move, whereas 34.3% were against it. The remainder were undecided. Assuming the zone is relocated, 72.1% preferred it going to a Jeju City Dong administrative district. The province is considering three options: relocating the zone, developing the existing area into a mixed-use zone with residential facilities, or updating the firm's equipment and facilities. The government will finalize its plan after hearing what the companies in the district and local residents have to say about it. Many of the island's women sea divers are elderly, and that increases the risks they face while working. In response to the increasing number of aged Haenyeo who are dying on the job, the province is trying to help them retire earlier. Joseph Kim reports.
Over the last 10 years, 72 Haenyeo have died at sea while working. This means there have been 7 deaths per year on average. 85% of the deceased were over 70 years of age. Chronic illness, including high blood pressure and fatigue, are the main causes of the deaths at sea. Among 3,985 Haenyeo living in Jeju, 2,386, or 60% of them, are over 70 years old. To prevent sudden death, the province is helping elderly women divers retire earlier. Before this year, 200,000 won or less was provided to retired Haenyeo every month based on age. Meanwhile, beginning this year, a 300,000 won monthly allowance is given to every Haenyeo aged 80 or more for 3 years after retirement. Enforcement regulations will soon define specific criteria for the provision of the retirement pension.
최근에 해녀분들이 물질 작업 시 그 안전사고가 빈발하게 이렇게 일어나고 있기 때문에 그것을 예방하고자 해서 은퇴수당을 도입을 하게 됐습니다.
The province will also expand subsidies for young Haenyeo settlement. Before this year, the subsidy was only given to graduates of Haenyeo training schools. Beginning this year, graduation from the schools are not required for the subsidy. Some say the retirement pension is not big enough to encourage the professional divers to give up their job earlier. The island is watching how effective the police will be in terms of prevention of death. Joseph Kim, KCTV.
Highland Park is displaying over 500,000 flowers through the end of the month in its annual Narcissus Festival. Pick fruit, ride horses, feed farm animals, and more at QAD Natural Park's Camellia Festival, which is running through the end of January. It will be windy all day Wednesday, but the gusts should die down somewhat after lunch. It will also be a bit cooler than Tuesday. Here's your forecast. The low in Jeju City will be 3 and the afternoon high 6 degrees. In Seogwipo, temperatures will fall between 3 and 9. In Seongsan, the low before lunch will be 1 and the high later on 6 degrees. Temperatures in Gosan will range from 2 to 5. And the morning low up on the mountain at Songpanak will be 5 degrees below zero, and the afternoon high 1 above. Taking a look at the marine forecast, winds will be out of the north and northeast at 8 to 16 meters per second. And seas will be quite rough by times, getting up to 4 meters. And here's a look ahead. And that brings us to the end of today's newscast. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll tune in next time. Until then, don't forget to find us on YouTube by searching for KCTV E-News Jeju. 시청자 여러분, 감사합니다.